The White Ghost of Penang Hill, a colonial mystery in the mists. Let me take you back. Not just up the winding tracks of Penang Hill, but back in time, more than a century ago. High above Georgetown, where the tropical heat gives way to cool, misty air. Penang Hill, once called Flagstaff Hill by the British, was a paradise retreat. It was the 1800s. British colonials built grand bungalows nestled among ferns, orchids, and towering fig trees. Among these colonial relics stood a beautiful villa near the edge of the hill, overlooking the forest below. And in it lived a woman named Margaret Stillwell. Margaret was the young wife of a British officer, Captain Thomas Stillwell, who was stationed in Penang under the Straits Settlements Administration. The British garrison fled in haste, leaving civilians behind. Captain Stillwell vanished. Some say he died at sea, others whisper he deserted. Margaret, refusing to abandon the hill she loved, stayed in their bungalow alone. They had moved to the hill in the late 1930s. Right before the rumblings of war reached the shores of Malaya, he was strict, off and away. She was quiet, elegant, with an eerie sort of beauty that made locals call her Hantu Pucha, the White Ghost, even before her death. He was on a late shift when he saw a lone woman walking along the tracks. Barefoot, her white dress flowing like smoke. He called out, thinking she was lost. But when he got closer, she vanished. Not a sound, not a footprint. Others say she took her own life out of despair, throwing herself from the balcony into the ravine below. Wartime records confirm many civilians were abandoned during the Japanese occupation. The mist rolls in like memory. And every time a breeze brushes the nape of your neck or a branch snaps in the quiet, you might wonder. Entire families disappeared without trace. The British never returned in full force until after the war ended in 1945. A few versions claim she died of illness, trapped and starving, surrounded by silence and fog. Then came World War II. In December of 1941, the Japanese invaded Malaya. Penang was one of the first to fall. What happened next is shrouded in shadows. Some say Japanese soldiers found her. But from that moment on, the hill was never quite the same. Caretakers, hikers, and even railway workers began reporting strange occurrences, especially near the old bungalows on Viaduct Road and Fern Hill. A pale woman in white, seen at dusk, gliding silently along the trails. Lights flickering in an abandoned house. A face gaunt, with hollow eyes seen staring out from a window no one had entered in decades. One particularly chilling account comes from a man in the 1970s who worked at the Penang Hill Railway. People say she's still searching for her husband for peace or for justice. But it's not just ghost stories. Margaret's bungalow, it existed. Some say it still stands, though overgrown. Penang Hill remains one of the few places in Malaysia where colonial history and haunting folklore intertwine. Was that just the wind? Or was it Margaret, the White Ghost of Penang Hill?